Welcome to Reddit Tea Time. Am I the bonehead for refusing to give my daughter a kidney because she said she doesn't care if I'm scared? My 38 female daughter, 21 female, is suffering from kidney failure. We have been estranged for 3 years, and it was due mainly to the fact that she was taking her health issues, as well as her fights with her dad, 38 male, and stepmom, 31 female, out on me. I spent hundreds of my husband, Ethan, 49 male, and I's money on making therapy for my daughter, but she has remained bitter and difficult. Ethan and I have 2 kids, 9 male and 11 male. I had to give up quite a bit in terms of career prospects due to my first pregnancy. My parents also disowned me. But then Ethan helped me get a degree in accounting and also a real estate license. I have connections from Ethan that are helping me do nearly 6 figures in real estate commissions, and I just joined an accounting firm that hired me based on the client connections I have from Ethan. Now I am working 50-hour weeks, but love it because I am finally earning 6 figures, and Ethan's business is also at a place where he can work at home. My daughter at this point was mostly low contact since she turned 18, but now she's back because she needs a kidney. I made the mistake of letting friends know about her situation, and everybody I know from my mommy groups from when my daughter was born started dogpiling on me, saying, "You gotta do this, mama," and like I'd be held down to get my kidney. Because of this pressure, and despite Ethan saying no, I went to the doctor and found out I was a match. I tried to reach out to my daughter's dad to see if he's a match, but her stepmom had apparently already called her screaming that her dad was the provider for her and 3 kids, so how dare she ask this of a father. My ex said that his duty was obviously to his wife and minor kids, so no testing for him. And so he and everybody else just wanted to be my kidney. I tried to communicate to my daughter that I'm afraid of surgery. I was too new to take that much time from work, so I'd likely be working while in pain. She replied asking, "Doesn't Ethan make a lot of money?" I told her again how risky surgery was, and she said, echoing my friends, "I don't care. This isn't about you." I was so furious from that conversation that when I went to see the doctor and the doctor asked if somebody was coercing me, I told him that, at this point, I'd rather die than continue to serve my ungrateful, rude daughter. I said I indeed felt coerced, and if I did it, I'd probably have burning resentment towards the recipient and the doctors if I woke up in pain. The doctor immediately said I am therefore not a compatible donor and that I should never feel like I'm a prisoner. I told my friends and Ethan this, and while Ethan just asked if I was okay and that the boys and him need me, my friends were furious and tried to shame me online with, "What kind of mother posts?" They are insisting I go back and say I was lying, and I've changed my mind to sign something showing I wasn't coerced and get it notarized if it's what it takes. Am I the bonehead? Wow. Imagine your parents arguing over who doesn't want to save your life, and the fact that her dad won't even get tested is crazy. I wonder which parent will pay for the daughter's funeral since she won't be getting a kidney, or will they argue about that too? These 2 are absolutely awful parents who have replaced their first child with new families. The fact that she thinks she deserves any sympathy shows her lack of self-awareness. Am I the bonehead for telling my aunt she's the reason her kids don't have friends and not their attitudes? My 20 females aunt, 40s Kate, is a self-proclaimed cool mom. We're talking like the wet-ass pizza mom, but all the time. It never stops. She's obsessed with looking cool for her daughter's friends, who are 16 and 17, but acts pretty inappropriately. Many of Lucy's friends, my cousin, aren't allowed over anymore after Kate sang that one Margarita song to them. Lucy confided in me that word gets around that people's parents don't want their kids to go to hers. Lucy and her younger brother are pretty jaded as a result and are cold to their mother, who cannot take the hint. She came over on Boxing Day and was complaining about her kids' social lives. She said they rarely see their friends anymore, and it's worrying her that maybe it's their rude attitudes. My mom gave me a look that said, "Say nothing." But I said, "Do you think it's maybe the fact that you try to embarrass them at every opportunity? They're cold because you've ruined their reputations by being the crazy cool mom." My mom told me to leave the room, and her and Kate went outside a few minutes later. After 20 minutes, they left, and my mom was not happy with me. She told me to text Kate to apologize because she's very upset. Am I the bonehead for telling her the truth? Not the bonehead. Good on you for standing up for your cousins. It's one thing to be an approachable parent who loves their kids deeply and wants to be involved in their lives and be a person the kids feel they can come to with any issue they have. And it's another thing altogether to be desperate for approval from your children's friends and to be seen as the cool parent. Like, yeah, driving your kids and their friends to a concert while you wait at the bar or a nearby cafe or something, and also driving them back home safely whilst asking about the concert is cool. Joining your kids and their friends at the concert is not cool, but embarrassing at that age. Letting your kids have a cool house party at the house is cool, whilst you stay in your office or upstairs, just in case adult supervision is needed. But hanging out as part of the party, talking to your kids' friends, and especially talking about inappropriate things from your own young or private life, is cringe. You did the right thing. I wouldn't apologize. If you are forced to, you can always say, "I'm sorry you are upset by what I said. It won't happen again." It kind of sounds like an apology, but you aren't apologizing for what you did or said. Not the bonehead. Someone had to say it. Your aunt needs to stop with her weird and inappropriate behavior. I tell my kids all the time that we're not friends, because as soon as you see me as a friend, that means you see me as an equal, and if we're equals, you won't respect me as a parent. Now, that said though, they talk to me about anything as if we were friends, but I'm not going to try to be cool mom or fit in or anything. I don't care if kids think I'm cool. I'm not here to be cool. I'm here to be a mom and raise my kids to be productive members of society and good people. I don't care about being the cool mom. Not the bonehead. The One Margarita song isn't insanely inappropriate to sing to a group of minors, no matter the context. If my child came home and said an adult sang that song to them, they wouldn't be allowed back either. Were you direct? Yes. Was it the truth? Yes. Am I the bonehead for telling my sister she should really lay off the guilt trips with her kids who want to change their names? My sister has 2 now adult kids. Her son is 21 and her daughter is 18, and both of them told her in the last month or so that they planned to legally change their names. My nephew is George and my niece is Catherine. The kids always had nicknames as kids and asked people not to use their whole names. But it was my niece who was the most vocal about the hatred she had for her name. She said Catherine made her think of the old lady who lived down the street from her, and she felt like it was a really old lady name, or a name someone who wanted to appear so mature would have. She wanted a name that sounded younger, and in middle school, she started to go by the name Ember, after a character she adored in a book. Ember has stuck, and she plans to make that her legal name. George was never as outspoken, but in the last few years, mostly since he moved out of his parents' house, he has been Ryder to his friends. Now he has decided he wants to make Ryder his legal name. My sister was upset with one wanting to change, but with both, she's got a mix of sadness and anger about it. She and my niece have argued a lot. My sister told her wanting to sound young is a dumb reason to change her name. She told her the name Catherine has a lot of history surrounding it, and sounds far more adult, which she now is. She told her she just wants a trendy modern name and can't see the benefit to having a real name. She hasn't been as harsh with my nephew, but she goes more for the guilt trips with him more so, and she has tried with my niece too, just more with my nephew. It got to the point that I heard from both my niece and nephew that their mom is driving them crazy, and my nephew is considering changing his middle name, like his sister plans to change hers, since their mom is being so extreme about this. My niece said she doesn't want either name her mom gave her, and would rather have just a first name than carry around names she doesn't like. So I decided to talk to my sister, and she told me she doesn't want to hear what I have to say. She told me they are her kids and she has every right to try to convince them to do the right thing. I told her she should still lay off the guilt trips, or she might find she hears way less from her kids than she does now, and they might be less inclined to tell her stuff in the future, which she also wouldn't like. She told me to leave after telling me I had crossed a line. Am I the bonehead? Not the bonehead, but you've stated your opinions, and that's the end. She will continue to guilt her kids, and they will change their names. You tried being reasonable, but honestly, there's no use with people like that. My mother is the same way. No one, not even her, calls me by my legal first name, and I plan on changing it. I loathe my first name. It's so stupid, and not one person can pronounce it right without me correcting them. My mom always gives me the most pathetic puppy dog look and tries to tell me it was my maternal great-grandmother's name. No, it wasn't, Mom. Not even your mom will allow that BS line. She's tried to convince me to keep it in the past, but I threatened to cut her off. She finally got the hint and resorts to the face and white lie every time now, which I'm fine with because she won't change my mind. Not the bonehead, but I understand your sister's feelings. I gave my youngest a traditional name that I loved from both literature and history. She hated it. After she got her first job and saved up her money, she asked us to sign the papers so she could change it. I felt bad on 2 counts because I really did love the name, and I felt bad for giving her a name she hated. I can also relate to the other side. I hate, loathe, and despise my first name. Not even my own family can pronounce it or spell it correctly, and to make matters worse, it was the name of a very popular song back in the day that people used to sing at me whenever I introduced myself. Add to that the fact that my parents didn't really name me, they took the suggestion of family friends. So yeah, I get it and feel for both the parent and the kids. But if she really loves her kids, she needs to accept what makes them happy. Am I the bonehead for telling my sister her poor life choices aren't my problem? My female 30 sister, 26 Millie, has been in a string of bad relationships all her life. She dates unemployed losers, F-boy types who don't want anything serious, or men who are already in relationships. She becomes overly attached to her partners and then gets heartbroken when these relationships don't end well for her, going so far as to play the victim when another woman called her out publicly for sleeping with her fiancé. Our family always picks up the pieces when her relationships end and she goes into massive depressive episodes. I love her, but it can be exhausting as she never learns from her past mistakes. Her current partner, male 26, falls into the unemployed loser category. He's barely worked in his life and spends most of his time playing video games. Despite this, Millie fell pregnant 5 months into the relationship. They moved in together shortly before the baby was born. He resisted moving out of his parents till the final hour, and they now share a 9-month-old son. They both love the baby, but the relationship is strained. Millie is on maternity leave while he is still unemployed, and furthermore, he doesn't help around the house with the baby or the chores, leading to Millie being stressed and overwhelmed. I try to help out when I can, but I am running my own business and also live an hour away, so the help I can offer is limited. Anyway, I got engaged to my longtime partner on Christmas Eve and announced the news the following day at Christmas dinner as the entire family was attending. Naturally, my family were ecstatic, but while Millie congratulated me, she looked sad or annoyed for the rest of the evening, and it became obvious her mood had soured. This resulted in the family coddling her all night and asking if she was okay, to which she kept on saying, "I'm fine," while clearly being in a mood, refusing to engage in conversations, snapping at people, etc. At one point she came back from the bathroom and looked as if she had been crying, so I pulled her aside to ask what was going on. She said the announcement of my engagement on Christmas was stealing her thunder, as it was her baby's first Christmas, and her son should be the main focus. She then accused me of rubbing my relationship and happiness in her face because I knew things were not good with her relationship. This is the part where I might be a bonehead. I got annoyed, called her entitled, and asked why she couldn't just be happy for me. She then accused me of not being supportive of her, and I snapped and said, "It's not my fault you let some loser knock you up. We all tried to warn you." I was also quick to snap, because I feel like every family event since she got pregnant has centered around the same drama with her baby daddy. She ended up storming off and leaving with her baby and partner, and now my parents say I need to be the one to clear the air as the eldest sibling. Oh boy, not the bonehead. My sister ruined every holiday, life event, etc., but as the oldest, I was always told to make nice. She also married a loser and had 4 kids. She never has any money and thinks I should give her some because I have it. I went no contact after my parents died. Don't apologize, and congratulations on your engagement. Not the bonehead, but you need a different strategy because the same one you've been using, that you learned from your upbringing, isn't working. You don't have to help her out as much as you do. You don't have to engage in her drama. You can go low contact. Your mental health is important too. Not the bonehead, and your sister needs a wake-up call. She has for a long time. This is another situation where she's never really faced any consequences for her actions, and as a result she now suffers from the all-too-popular "now I am the main character" syndrome. I put most of the blame the rest of your family for enabling and allowing this behavior. That's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next Reddit story.